I don't want food workers throwing in extras to my order to be nice. If I wanted more food, I would have just ordered more food. Sleeping with no blanket, fully clothed, is the best way to sleep. I think homeschooling should be the norm. What is up, YouTube? In today's episode, we are going to be reading the most unpopular opinions on Reddit, and we're going to see whether we agree with them, disagree with them. The first one says, if turkey was so delicious, like some people swear by, then they would cook it more than once or twice per year. People swear their turkey is the best, and that's all they talk about around this time of year. If it was good, then I don't understand why they only cook it around this season, even if it's a lot of work. I just don't really get the rave about it. I agree with this so much because, yeah, what do you mean you're only cooking turkey around turkey? Like, because I know so many people's like favorite Thanksgiving food is like turkey, but I don't hear them talk about turkey unless it's around Thanksgiving. Like, I obviously know it's like strictly themed towards Thanksgiving, but like it's accessible all year. Like, I don't know. So, me personally, I think this is an unpopular opinion because, like, I don't think a lot of people make turkey other than Thanksgiving. Like, I feel like a lot of people talk about how good it is and all this stuff, but like, I think this person is right and I agree with them, but I think it is an unpopular opinion. The way European rights dates makes much more sense. So basically, we know that the year is made up of 12 months. So let's say it's the biggest circle. The month is made up of days, but smaller than a year. So let's say it's the medium circle. And last, the smallest is the days in which we show here are, okay, they're overcomplicating this. They're saying that like going smallest to biggest makes sense and going like medium, small, big. Because like we do months, which is like medium, and then days, which is small, and then years, which is big. But they do it as in days, small, months, medium, and then year, large. Which that actually makes sense. Like, okay, I can get behind that. I agree with it. And I actually don't think it's an unpopular opinion though, because so many countries outside of the US use that system. So I don't think it's unpopular, but I can get behind it. But I just don't think I would use it, but I understand the logic. Like, the logic makes sense more than our system. I think homeschooling should be the norm.
Huh?
Oh, okay. I think homeschooling should be the norm. I believe that homeschooling should be the norm. It should be the first option for education. Homeschooled children tend to be better educated than the public school peers. They have more option to learn at a natural pace and also tend to be better at socializing with people of all age groups rather than just their own. Okay. I disagree with this, and I do think this is an unpopular opinion, okay? Because one, homeschooling, like, you don't get chances to really have social interactions with people your age. Like, yes, it talks about being in different age groups, but how are you going to meet these people unless they live in your neighborhood, or unless like they're your dad's friend's kids, like whatever. Like, school teaches you a lot. School teaches you some like basic common sense. Like, I don't know, like I went online schooled for a year, but I came back and just everything was so different. Like, there were so many new terms I had never heard of. Like, going online made me feel like a lot more behind than like ever. Like, I was just a lot more behind on my like work. Like, everyone else like knew what was going on, and I was like kind of lost. And I like always been a smarter kid, so it's like that didn't really make sense for me. So I genuinely don't think homeschooling is the best option for education, nor do I think it should be the first. I think it should be in person, online, and then homeschool, because you don't get the in-school, I could talk about this for so long, but you don't get the in-school experience, right? You don't get to meet friends, like lifetime friends. Like, you're just kind of stuck with the few friends that like your parents know, or like whatever, or like you meet them online, which is even more dangerous. I understand why people homeschool, but I like for like safety reasons and obviously stuff like that, but like it just really comes down to it. But using the handicap door is a massive sign of laziness. I see it all the time. Someone walking through a set of doors who feels like they need to slam the handicap door opener instead of simply opening the door. How lazy can a person be? That feature is there for people who actually need it, who can't open a door without it, or would have a very hard time. It isn't there to indulge your lazy eye. Not to mention, it's faster to simply open the door instead of hitting the button and waiting for it to open. If you do this, you're a lazy person and should be judged negatively. You're taking advantage of something that for handicapped people, shame on you. One, there is so many features that are meant for disabled people that we use every day. So we have text-to-speech, that's meant for blind people. We use that like a lot, like voice notes, that's meant for that, that's the same thing. Like those are meant for blind people. And like, that doesn't mean we're lazy, that just is a different way of doing it. And I feel like that's the same thing with this. Like, yes, it is intended for disabled people, but like, for example, like people that are germaphobes and just want to like elbow the button, like that's not a problem. Like, I understand why people would want to like elbow it or like do something so they don't have to hold a door handle, and like, you know, like especially like with like a lot of diseases, or not diseases, or viruses and stuff that like, especially during like the winter times and like a lot of people are getting sick, like I understand that. And I do agree that it is longer to wait for the button to open the door than you to do it yourself. So that's a good point. I disagree with this. I think it's an unpopular opinion. Airport security isn't bad, you're just being dramatic. Recently had my first time ever even stepping inside of an airport, let alone my first time seeing the outside of one. I was expecting it to be terrible, super complicated, because I always heard everyone complaining about it. Really, it was just a matter of finding where the map was, which was very easy to do, and a lot of waiting in line. The security wasn't even as complicated as people make it seem. It's just putting your stuff in buckets and taking an extra 45 seconds to walk through a detector. As long as you have all the stuff you need, ID and plane ticket ready with you, and as long as you don't have a big issue that you can't something that you can't legally bring on the flight, and if you make sure you get there with time to spare, lines making you late doesn't have to be anything close to a worry. So in my opinion, people who make a big fuss about the airports and security are just being dramatic because they're impatient or have poor time management and always get there late. I agree, because if you're not showing up there at least an hour before your flight, what are you doing? Because like, I low-key mess with the airport. Like, I low-key get mad because like whenever we like go places, like my family's the type of family that get there like 2 hours early, which like is excessive, and then we'll just be waiting there for like 30 minutes or like an hour, like, so yes, it is excessive, but like the process isn't really bad. I feel like why people make it so dramatic is because flights are typically in the morning or like at night, so it kind of like makes people be like, oh, I'm tired, like this is too much, like, you know what I mean? So I feel like that's definitely like a cause of that for sure. And yeah, so I feel like that, and then on top of that, like some of it can feel unnecessary, but like I understand like why, like, because obviously I don't think it's a big deal. I low-key like being in the airport. I low-key like just sitting there, you know, like tired on my phone with my headphones on, like that's just like my feeling about it. So you should get married early. Aww. Advice that you hear from people, often those with unhappy marriages, is that you should live it up in your 20s and even into your 30s before settling down and getting married. It seems so much better to get married as soon as you find someone who you can grow alongside with. I believe most real bonding happens when you grow up right alongside someone, because then you each mold each other into the perfect wife and husband. Not to mention starting a family early. I get that kids are expensive, so get that in order first. You don't want to raise your kids in poverty, but watching your kids grow up before you get too old just seems so much better. Again, I'm not saying necessarily rush something permanent like that, but you should really seize any opportunity to lock in with your soulmate and grow with them rather than waiting just because you were told to do so. Okay, I think that, yes, getting married early, obviously not like 20, 21, like don't rush it like the person said, but I think like 25, 26, 27, like somewhere in there is a good age. Probably like yeah. But like I wouldn't say like rush your 20s either, because like definitely live up your 20s, but like if you have that person and like you guys have been dating for a while, or like, you know, like you have like, don't lose a connection just because you want to be like single and free in your early 20s and like partying up and like that kind of stuff, because like you're just losing your soulmate, and you're not guaranteed to get married. Like a lot of people just think like it's just a standard part of life, but like a lot of people don't actually get married, and like it is kind of sad. So like I feel like you should definitely cherish your time with, if you have a specific person like that. So I mean, I think getting married early is like, I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I agree with it. Sleeping with no blanket, fully clothed, is the best way to sleep. Every night I sleep fully clothed with no blankets. Huh? I usually wear PJs unless I'm really tired, then I'll just wear the clothes I did that day. One, wearing the clothes that you wore all day is kind of gross unless you didn't go anywhere. Like imagine like this is from school. Imagine I wore this to bed. No, I'm changing after this is done filming, so no. No blanket, absolutely not, because I feel like the blanket is what makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel like protected in your bed. That's like how I fall asleep. If I didn't have a blanket, I wouldn't feel like protected, you know? So that one's weird. Making guests take off their shoes before entering your house is rude. Even though it's a person's house, they should make a guest feel welcomed. So many times I've entered a house and immediately been told to take off my shoes. Guests should be able to take off their shoes only if they want. What if a guest is ashamed of their feet or have fungus? It's just so inconvenient. Okay, I understand this person's perspective, but I also understand the house owner's perspective, because obviously you don't want people's dirty outside shoes in your clean house. So, I don't know, I feel like if it's like a friend or whatever, you could just be like, hey, like, take your shoes off if you don't mind, and if they don't take off their shoes, then like, it's fine. But they might feel obligated to, but I don't know, I feel like there's no right answer to this, because like, I don't want food workers throwing in extras to my order to be nice. If I wanted more food, I would have just ordered more food. It seems to be universally loved when someone mentions working in fast food and hooking up orders by throwing extra food in the bag. Like, I don't understand the problem. Like, you're getting your money's worth. Like yes, you didn't, like, you're not obligated to eat it. Like, I don't know. I mean, if I get extra food, I eat it anyways. Like, I always devour my food. So it's like, who wouldn't want extra food? Like, I don't know, like, you're getting a bang for your buck. Like, you might as well like take a few bites out of whatever they give you. Like, sometimes it's as small as like an extra nugget or like a few extra fries, or like if it's like a whole other meal, then I get that because you didn't order that. But if it's just like you ordered 10 nuggets and you get 11, like, that's not bad. Wireless earphones are the most stupid item ever. And I can't fathom, to save my life, why so many people wear them for any reason that isn't vanity. The only advantage is them being wireless, which is worthless compared to all the cons, like having to charge them, risking the battery to run out whenever you need them the most, or even worse, falling off your ears and losing them. I once had an absurd discussion with a guy about the risk of losing them, and he said, well, you can buy a wire to prevent this. Like, dude, what's the point of buying $100 earpods with a wire when you could just buy $5 wire earphones without having to charge them? Also, the fact that they have a battery severely lower than the item's lifespan, while wired earphones can last over a decade. It also feels a bit rude to wear them all the time while talking to someone. Like, you are so lazy you don't even bother with removing them for 10 minutes. Okay. So, I disagree because, one, wireless earphones are not stupid. Like, I don't want, like, I'm sorry, like, I want to be, like, imagine, like, you're cleaning, and, like, let's say I'm going over here to watch this table, and my phone's on the couch. I'm literally have to carry my phone with me because it's attached by a wire. I don't want that. And also, whenever conversations happen and you have these earphones in, like, I don't think people realize, like, people, like, especially at school, like, whenever we were allowed to wear, like, headphones, phone, whatever, I would have my AirPods on very low volume, so where I was just background music to me, so I could, like, kind of filter out, like, background noise and just focus on my, but, like, while also listening to, like, my favorite music. So I obviously, like, it's a respect thing to take them out, but, like, if people don't take them out, they're still listening. It's not like they're, like, blasting. Like, some people could be, but, like, that's not me. Like, I always have mine turned down, or, like, sometimes I'll even forget they're in, like, but I don't think it's wasteful. Like, I understand they're expensive, but, like, charging them, it's such a non-issue. Like, you're just lazy if you don't want to charge your AirPods. Like, waking up from a good dream ruins your day more than waking up from a bad dream. Seriously, think about it. Waking up from a dream which makes you so much happier than you have ever been in real life, and the next second you come back to your real life and realize it was all just a dream. I was so disappointed I didn't even try to sleep again. On the other hand, if you had a terrible dream and you woke up with sweat all over your face and realized it's a dream and have a sigh and go back to sleep again. I agree with this. I think it is I think it's popular though, because yeah, like, having a good dream, waking up from that, first of all, not being able to remember the dream, that gets me going crazy. Like, I don't mess with that whenever you can't like remember the dream. Like, it literally drives me insane for the whole day. Like, I don't know. And it's just so weird because, like, it's just so weird that you can't remember it. And then having a bad dream, like, you kind of just realize, like, it's just a dream, and then you go back to sleep. Like, yeah, I agree with that. Happy holidays shouldn't be said until the month of December. Stop saying it in November. Just stop. When did Thanksgiving funnel into happy holidays, I'm particularly talking about ads in stores like Target, etc. Over the years, they have crept earlier and earlier up the calendar, and toxic consumerism that leeches to it makes me want to something. Call me a Grinch, Scrooge, I really don't care. Just stop shoving that BS down everyone's gullets before the Halloween candy can even exit or wow. Okay, I understand why they do it early, obviously, so people, happy holidays, buy presents, like, it's marketing. So like they're in the game too, like they're gonna make money off of Christmas presents, but people also go Christmas shopping before December. Like, my parents, they go Christmas shopping like October, November, because they just do, like, I don't know. But I would rather buy stuff earlier than later, so like, I don't know, and like if you buy stuff last minute, like, you're probably not gonna get everything your kid wants, so. Writers and directors who expect the audience to draw their own conclusions / fill in the gaps is really just lazy, directionless art. Okay. See, I'm not very good at comprehension. I'm not good at English in general. But what I can say is if you do it right, if you can have so many like assumptions that fill the gap but that they also make sense, that's how you know you're doing it right, because the reader can interpret that and interpret your writing as a whole as what they want it to mean to them. That's how writing should be. It should be how you, like, how a person interprets it to them, and like, because like it makes it relatable for the person and it like intrigues them. So I think that's good. But like whenever you're reading a story and like you just leave parts out, that's where I get confused, because like, one, we're already using metaphors, we're already using like a bunch of like symbolic language and all that stuff. So it's just like, I don't know. But thank you guys all so much for watching this episode of the broadcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, this is like a last minute video. I'm like sick and nobody wanted to film with me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.